Yesterday, the South African president, Cyril Ramaphosa, delivered his annual State of the Nation address. Beginning his State of the Nation address, Ramaphosa said national flags would be flown at half-mast for a week to honor the fallen soldiers starting today. This is for the soldiers who died in the DRC. Here are the key takeaways from the State of the Nation address. The president announced a second wave of economic reforms aimed at lifting growth above 3%. These reforms focus on restructuring state-owned enterprises like Eskom and Transnet. There will be significant investments in infrastructure. Ramaphosa unveiled a plan to invest $50 billion, almost R1 trillion, over the next 3 years to improve the country's infrastructure. He also emphasized South Africa's commitment to its sovereignty, stating that the nation will not be bullied. This assertion came in response to U.S. President Donald Trump's threats to cut funding over South Africa's new land reform law. South Africa will soon launch an electronic travel authorization system aimed at improving the visa application process. Ramaphosa says these reforms are intended to demonstrate to the world that South Africa is open for business. Ramaphosa said, "Government will soon start the preparatory work for the National Health Insurance's establishment." On measures to deal with corruption, the president said the Investigating Directorate Against Corruption has been established as a permanent entity within the NPA dedicated to investigating and prosecuting high-level corruption cases. South Africa's foreign policy and diplomatic missions were highlighted as Ramaphosa said the country has acted in accordance with its obligations under the Genocide Convention by instituting proceedings against Israel at the International Court of Justice. South Africa continues to advance its agenda of cooperation and multilateralism through its membership of the United Nations, African Union, the Non-Aligned Movement and BRICS group of countries, he said. In 2024, over 40 of the country's 257 municipalities were under administration. Municipalities are responsible for administration, budgeting, and planning to meet the fundamental needs of their communities, driving both social and economic development. However, many struggle due to a lack of technical skills and resources. Addressing these issues during the State of the Nation address, Ramaphosa announced plans to establish professionally managed, ring-fenced utilities for water and electricity to ensure sustainable investment and maintenance. Ramaphosa has assured South Africans that the country's water crisis will be resolved. He acknowledged the severe impact of water shortages on communities. He further stated that the Infrastructure Fund has secured 23 billion rands for 7 major infrastructure projects aimed at addressing the issue. Ramaphosa says the 7th administration is working on revitalizing South Africa's port and rail networks. The country has been working on improving its rail network to move cargo off its overburdened roads. Ramaphosa says improving these key sectors will help reduce waiting time for cargo from the country's ports. "We hope this plan gets implemented. South Africa does not have a policy or planning issue. The problem has always been implementation and execution of such plans." Thank you for hanging around. Please subscribe, like, and share.